So Ripple just replied for the first time to the SEC, and I wanted to make this quick video update giving my thoughts. I haven't really given my thoughts per se on the whole Ripple XRP lawsuit situation, so I wanted to make myself and my point of view clear here, because I do think that there, are a ton of things going on here. One, I want to address the idea that XRP is going to become extinct from this. I also want to address the idea here that what's going to happen in this lawsuit is going to ripple and essentially, for lack of a better term, ripple and essentially have this widespread devastating effect on cryptocurrency. I want to sort of address the worst case scenario with Ripple and the SEC. And I also want to address this sort of rampant buzz that, Chainlink, for example, is next, and that there's going to be another project that essentially gets the bad end of the SEC. Now, first of all, the SEC has done stuff like this before, where they kind of chop off the big, easy targets, and they let that sort of be an example instead of going after everybody. And I think that it's going to be something quite similar to what we're seeing right now, which is that you're seeing the SEC going after Ripple because there are facts and circumstances that they believe make it kind of an easy target. And it's also the big number. Like SEC goes after 100 million, 50 million, a billion. They don't go after like the $1 million projects because it's really not an abuse of the system at the same level. But more importantly, what I'm seeing as a huge issue here is that the Ripple executives, Chris Larsen and Brad Garlinghouse, personally profited hundreds of millions of dollars, over $500 million personally from the direct sale of XRP. And there's a lot of talk about what's called asymmetric information. Now, Ripple has just put out a statement saying that they haven't put out, their side of the story yet, and that you've only heard the SEC side of the story. So we are going to have to, take a minute and wait for Ripple to fully explain themselves and say what they feel their case really is. But in my mind, one of the big things to look at here is that you have executives personally profiting from constant dumping of Ripple onto the markets to huge degrees with a ton of what's called asymmetric information, meaning that this small group of people, the executives, are knowing things about what's coming next that the public doesn't know. More importantly, there's issues about how open the XRP ledger and the Ripple network is, or how closed off it is. And so depending on, how closely centralized the token supply is, how closely centralized the computing network is, and how closely centralized the information supply is. Those are critical things that I don't think apply the same way to projects like Chainlink, who have had dramatic rise in price. They're clearly not manipulating the price down, whereas there's a lot of complaints over the years that the XRP sales by Ripple were suppressing price and essentially hurting retail investors. I mean, that's what it all comes down to with the SEC. The SEC is not there to protect the institutional investors. Accredited investors or institutional investors essentially are free from a lot of issues or a lot of rules with the SEC. They can invest in a ton of stuff that the normies cannot. And so you have this kind of issue of more general selling to general public. And that's what Ripple was doing over the years. And so if you ask me, there's a lot of facts and circumstances that are pretty specific to Ripple, specific to XRP, that are not necessarily shared with other projects like Chainlink, other projects that may have done some sort of public sale, but they're not hoarding the vast majority of tokens and sort of dumping them in mass over and over again on retail. And I think that those facts and those circumstances are going to be big deciders in what happens next. Now, if you want my realistic vision of what is the worst case scenario for XRP, the worst case scenario for XRP is that they take this to court, that they keep fighting it, they don't accept a settlement, and that they somehow establish a case precedent, a legal precedent that affects other crypto projects, that essentially allows for the SEC to just easily knock over other ICOs, tokens, offerings. That's so far away, though, that I don't even think it's worth worrying about at the current stage. I think it's much more important to focus on, what is specific to Ripple, what are the realities of the outcomes for Ripple. A lot of the times it's going to be a fine. Looking at the EOS situation, you had EOS raise $4 billion. They paid like $24 million fine. That's like 0.5%. They're being essentially accused of $1.3 billion in unlicensed security sales. If you think about EOS was $4 billion. So that was essentially 4x. So maybe EOS's fine would be 4x what Ripple pays. I mean, they've given away $10-20 million on the Ellen show and XRP. I don't think it's going to be that big of an issue for them to come up with the fine if it ends up being something like that. Like maybe it's just a shakedown from the big guys and saying, hey, you got to pay the piper if you're going to do this kind of business. That would be like best case scenario. Worst case scenario is we get some legal precedent. XRP becomes a security. Essentially, the actual XRP asset can't flow in America. That would be the bad situation. But I have a feeling, I have a distinct feeling that that isn't really the path to protect the actual retail investor, right? This isn't the path to protecting them. So if you want my belief, I believe that this ends in some sort of settlement. This ends with some sort of fine. I do believe that Ripple will have some added restrictions on what they can and can't do with XRP going forward, but I also don't think it necessarily ripples any further than that. Again, sorry for the pun. I think that the whole FUD that this is going to apply to Chainlink is pretty baseless, given that Chainlink's facts and circumstances are so wildly different than those around XRP and Ripple. But again, let me know what you guys think. I see some XRP army folks essentially saying like, buy the dip, this is the best dip of all time, yada, yada, yada. I wouldn't go that far. I think this is some really genuine FUD. And until it is wrapped up and completely, put aside, I think it's going to be doing some significant damage to the price. Now, I'm not an XRP holder. I haven't held XRP since 2017. However, I will say that, I do worry about some of the sort of, unwavering, almost just like religious commitment to this token, I think there's pretty much only two tokens that you should really be unfazed about any potential news events with, and that's, Bitcoin and Ethereum. And so, my perspective on this is that XRP is probably going to make it out of this. They're probably going to have to take some kind of slap on the wrist. They kind of have to pay the regulators their respect and their due if they want to operate this kind of business. I think that the best case scenario for XRP is really not that big of a deal. It may bounce back from it. I do think that if you really are to take a step back, there's an argument that XRP has been a bit overpriced for quite a long time. Regardless, I hope you guys, if you are believers in XRP, I hope you guys don't get completely crushed by this. You're going to live to fight another day. There's always another day to fight. But personally, I'm excited about the projects that are adding something new and different to the crypto ecosystem. That's why Polkadot's so exciting. A lot of the projects on Polkadot are exciting. If you look at them, there's a lot of them that came down off their August hype cycles, and they're really sort of bottomed out, and they're starting to climb back up and trying to get their legs under them for a new cycle. And I think in 2021, a lot of Polkadots, especially the ones who win the parachain auctions, if you don't know how Polkadot works, essentially they auction off chains on the Polkadot network, and they're limited. So I'm going to be looking a lot at Polkadot and the parachain auctions. Those projects, I believe, will have tremendous upside in 2021. I'm looking for, I obviously did my God tier coins list. And it's just going to be, to me, more exciting to look at the low cap gems and distribute profits into things like Bitcoin and Ethereum. If you guys don't want to play with anything else, Bitcoin and Ethereum have so much upside that, just keep it simple. Flip your gems, keep your moon bags, get your ETH and Bitcoin holdings as high as you can, because I believe that will be something that you'll look back at for years and feel like you really transformed your financial situation. Since December, January of 2017, these last few weeks have been of the most exciting and most generous that the crypto market has been for me personally. I hope you guys are also having success. We've covered a ton of projects that have been absolutely ripping, from, Alliance Block, Parsec, we had Injective, we had Octo, we had Uniland, we had a ton of projects that absolutely ripped, many, many X's. And so, I know not everybody acts on it, and you can't expect to act on every single one. But I do hope that the content has been helping you guys. I hope that it's been helping you get ahead. And I do believe that we're going to be coming with some really, really important projects helping you guys identify the ones that really have legs, that have fundamentals, that have strong products, that have strong teams, that essentially are going to make it past that initial little hype pump and make newer and higher highs, deliver and grow. That's my goal. I hope it's been helping you guys. If it has, I'd appreciate you guys giving me a thumbs up. And if you guys want to know about the newest and best undervalued opportunities in the market, all you have to do is subscribe and put that bell on. It's a free, totally free way that you can get ahead of the market here in crypto land in 2021. Anyway, guys, I hope you guys are having a happy and healthy holiday season. If you guys want to follow me on Twitter or Telegram, links are in the description. I'm Elio Trades. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon on the next episode.